How many of you have taken a test, maybe in school or college, and you have a strategy? How was I going to practice? How was I going to formulate my thoughts? Someone raise your hand and tell me, what's a good test strategy that you've used in the past?
Study.
Okay, so step one, let's go with the material. I love that. That's the most basic and most reasonable. What's another strategy that you like?
Studying more.
Study more?
I don't like get distracted.
I like it.
It's a little specific, but if I have like a specific subject that I like, I'll listen to a podcast while I play a game that I like. I'll remember playing the game and I'll remember what I was listening
Maybe some
to.
subliminal training, right? There's some of that. You can listen to something passively. There's a lot of that research in sleep and so forth. I'm going to show you guys a way that you can strategize how you're going to do your test. Now, people in other schools test different ways. The most basic way to test is for Joel to get up, and Joel grabs Brent, and I say, Joel, I want you to make out read. Ready? Go. And if he does the out read, he gets credit. I might say, Brent, show me three of your favorite throws. Now, I didn't tell him which throw. He has to recall. This is a harder method. Any 3 throws that you like. All right, so we got a hip throw. All right, we got a 2-hand shoulder throw. Let's see what he does on this third one. It might fit the whole premise here. All right, and that one is an odd bird, but a good neon throw, a good throw. What did the first 2 throws have in common?
Hand throws.
They're hand throws. Te waza. Te means hand. Karate, right? Te waza, using the hand, right? So here's kind of the thing. If we make shoulder throw, well, what's the next closest thing to shoulder throw?
Head.
All right, head and arm throw is pretty close. What's another hand throw that's pretty close?
Hip throw.
Hip throw. What's another one? 2-hand shoulder throw. So when we're looking at all of these entries, if the entry is the same, that's a good way to memorize it. Now, I usually go top down or bottom up. So if we did shoulder throw, right? I'm thinking I got to come up with, there's 3 throws for every level. White belt going to yellow belt, you got to have 3 throws just to start with. Orange belt, 6 throws, right? And so forth, right? So I'm thinking, what's 3 throws? Well, here's 1, here's 2, right? Here's 3, right? And they just go together. Does that make sense? That's a strategy.
Sure.
So all my white belts go into yellow belt, you need 3 throws. Now if you don't like top down, maybe you want bottom up. So we're gonna start with the feet, right? So I'm thinking, I gotta have 3 good throws. Let's start here. Let me think. Outer read. There's 1. That's the major outer read. Minor outer read. Right? Then we can go on the inside, right? Inner read. Right? Inner read. I just showed you 4 throws or 4 entries to leg reaping that you can categorize. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right. So then you may decide, well, there may be some other throws that don't fall into those. Like we want to do, Brent did neon throw. What kind of throw is neon throw?
Sacrifice.
It's a sacrifice throw. So that's a sacrifice throw for neon, right? We got tomanagi, or circle throw, is a sacrifice throw, right? When you think about it, drag down is a sacrifice throw because I land on the ground pulling on top of me, right? Or heel block or seatbelt.
Would a dropping shoulder throw be a sacrifice?
No, it's still a hand throw by category. The difference being, I'm not going to throw myself to the ground. He's going to hit the ground first. Sacrifice throws, you typically hit the ground first. Make sense?
Yes, sir. I was actually just curious. Does single leg also fall into that? Since you go
So
different?
what would single leg be? Is it a true throw? It's a takedown. So we can do we can come in and we can say, all right, single leg. Boom, right? What's close to that? All right, he says leg assisted. I like that one. This one, it's very close. It's actually a read, believe it or not, or a blocking throw, but still pretty close. I can do double leg, right? I You can make double leg. They're all down there in the shooting, wrestling style shooting takedowns. You see the strategy? You see how I'm going to do that?
Yes, sir.
All right, everybody get a partner. Drill or practice the throws a whole lot, but now are you categorizing your throws?
Yes, sir.
So again, why do you think I want to, if I'm going to run a test, why do you think I want you to categorize throws a certain way rather than me saying, show me single leg, show me double leg, show me.
I think it's so you can work on whatever you're having trouble with. You know what your kind of weakness is.
All right, I kind of like that.
So you don't get confused.
It
You can
definitely,
stay on track.
it keeps you from being used. Once you get up high level, you're doing 18, 20 throws, and you're like, oh crap, did I do that throw already? Right? So again, all that's part of it. Let's go beyond that. 10 years down the line, you decide you want to teach. How will you teach? Number one is you can download information that I've uploaded, but you've got it in a framework. Right? I can look at Ethan's body and go, how can I grab the arm to make a throw? How can I grab his lapels to make a throw? How can I grab his head to make a throw? Right? By body part. Or all tewaza, all hand throws. How can I grab the leg? Or all ashi waza, right? Sweeps, reaps, all these things are in categories. Joel, show us 2 of your favorite mount escapes, quickly. So again, by the way, I still do the most basic one, the arm trap and roll one, right? That one still works, bridge, arm trap, roll, but go Joel whenever you're ready. All right, good. Roll back over. Pick another good mount escape that you like. All right, he's doing a leg assisted shrimp, which works extremely well. Super good. So again, in the butt, right? Guard break and pass. That's the basic one. I still use that one. The most basic one, I use it a lot, works pretty well. All right, big swim, hooks the heel, moves to side control, not bad. All right, Joel, show us 2 that you like. All right, little swim. Bow ramps, roll them over. I love it. You haven't done a little swim in a while. Pretty good guard break. Keeps the arm safe, hard to resist. All right, neck crank. When his legs come open, you pass, or else he might just tap, depending on how much you crank him. I use that one, even though it's also a submission. I use it as a guard break. Kick out, scissor sweep, these things. Categorize these again for testing purposes. I would have 3 or 4 of these in each category. All right, make space. All right, elevator. One of my favorites, Jennifer's favorite. It's a great way to escape. Butterfly guard. It's a little tricky if you don't use butterfly guard. Great way to escape. That's one. Give me another one. All right, flower drop, which lands you into the arm bar. That's another great, more advanced. I teach those later, but you can use them at any level. All right, Brent, 2 sweeps. Collar tie up there. He makes a scissor sweep. Not bad. And kick out. Kick out's one of my favorites. Yeah. Good. Tons and tons and tons of those. Does it make sense?
Sir.
So remember that if you can make your throws, then you can get in a dominant position. That's why I want you to focus on get the throw, stick the throw, make the throw. If you're not in a dominant position, then you must bridge and shrimp to get out of position. And then if you're in a more or less neutral position, you're in the guard, you're either doing guard break and pass or you're doing sweeps to advance position. All right, by hand position, I'm guessing you're gonna bridge and shrimp. That's one of my favorite. It's the basic one I learned, still works great. Super effective. All right, and he's going ghost, which leads him to a nice choke, Darce choke. All right. All right. Looking good. Taking out the trash. Some people call that low roll. Because you got the hand in the low position. All right, and he went back to bridging. Shrimp. Super good. Lots of ways to escape. Remember that we kind of think about these things. I categorize almost everything in a high or a low. There's a high escape from the back, a low escape, or a foot escape and a bridging escape. Same thing with that last one. Taking out the trash is a low escape, right? The other one, bridge and roll, is a high escape. So there's ways to categorize these. Again, when you're building your system in your head, how am I going to teach? I want to teach my son something. I want to teach my class something, right? How am I going to do this? If you just randomly throw crap together, you can still give them information, but then they won't have a system. What we want to do is make sure that it makes sense, all right? All right, he's doing low escape. Slide, turn, swim, take the top. Textbook. That's the way I do it. All right, Brent, show us a different one. All right, he's going to try to break the grip. Oh, he's doing it a straight arm lock. That's the new one that we went over the other day. It follows up with another straight arm lock. Nice. Brent apparently was there for my class, and he remembered it, and now he's got it. It's in his brain. I was not expecting him to do that one. That's a great escape. Okay. We still got side control. We still got north and south. We still got neon. Tons of positions you can escape from. White belts, not the end of the world. If you can do transition drill, that's a good place to start. Or yellow belts, transition drill plus some additional positions. You got 3 more positions, and so forth. How are we going to categorize these submissions?
Choke.
All right.
Choke on.
Chokes make sense. Could I subcategorize chokes?
Yes. Cranks versus gi.
Okay, so cranks are definitely different. I would have that in its own category. I like that you put that aside.
Lapel.
All right, so gi chokes, using the lapel, using the belt, using the bottom, using the sleeve, those are all gi chokes. And what are not, give me an example of a choke that doesn't use the uniform.
Rear naked choke.
Rear naked choke, what's another one? Triangle choke, what's another one? Head and arm choke, what's another one? Guillotine. How about another one? Darce choke. Anaconda choke. Tons of no-gi chokes, okay? So when you kind of think about how am I going to categorize chokes, you could say, oh, choke's its own category. That's like saying throws is its own category. Let's subcategorize that. At least gi and no-gi at a minimum. Does it make sense? All right. Let's just rifle through a couple of these real quick just for fun. Give me Billy.
There you go.
All right, turn around so we can do that. So from the back, right? All these are lapel chokes. So I grab the lapel, I start here, I go here. What's this one?
Sliding lapel.
Sliding lapel. I change to here. What is this one?
Single wing.
Single wing, right? If I want to go a no-gi choke, the first one,
Rear naked choke.
rear naked choke, right? If I still wanted to do another no-gi choke from the back, I could move to here. And now I've got what?
Triangle choke.
Triangle choke. So those are good 2 lapel chokes, 2 no-gi chokes, right? All right, so he turns around, and we're gonna be from the guard, right? I saw Brent do this one. This is an old one, but one of my favorites, right? I pull it down low, I loop my hand around. Now notice my legs are doing a lot of work here. Then I come back, I pull here, and I choke here. Loop choke, right? I could also set one hand, set the other hand, I could pull him in with my legs, and then I crank here and make cross choke. So those are some basic lapel chokes. I could also clear, pull him in and hold him for a second, grab my sleeve, and I can make sleeve choke. I love doing that one. Just it's such an easy choke for people that put their head too low. Anyways, but we also have the no-gi chokes, right? So I clear the hand, I pull him in, head and arm choke. That's a no-gi choke, right? I go here, feet down, push, feet here, outside. Now watch. I turn myself and him sideways, and I have triangle choke. So we have 2 kind of from here, kind of from there. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right, we could go on with lapel chokes from side control, right? We could do different chokes from, the one place I don't recommend trying to choke is from the top of the guard. Not impossible. There is one. I'll go ahead and show it to you just for the fun. People on YouTube, this is a golden nugget. If you stayed with us this long, he's got me in the guard. If I try to choke him like this, he's going to use his legs and push me away, right? And then my arms aren't long enough. even if I stack him up, he should be able to push me away and minimize the choke. So I don't like choking from the top of the guard, right? But if I get here and I snake this in and I go and I lock this in this position, if he uses his legs to pull me away, it tightens the choke. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
So that's the one that I will say you can use, but the defense is to yank so fast and so hard that it hurts your fingers and it breaks the grip on the lock. So he can do it. He has a good defense from there. Okay? So there's a choke from scarf hold. There's chokes from, not so much from the neon position, you have to change, but from north and south, right? From the referee position, right? We've got guillotine, we've got anaconda. All those are super good chokes. Okay? Arm straight arm locks, which are arm bars, and then what? Bent arm locks. Okay. What's an example of a straight arm bar? Regular arm bar. This is called Jiu Jitsu, or cross arm bar. You cross their body. Right? What's another example of a straight arm bar?
Tiger lock.
Tiger lock is a straight arm lock. What's a bent arm lock? Kimura lock. Americana, right? So these are good ways to categorize. You can put them in your head. Here's another way. I'm gonna throw this out there. It might confuse some people, but I can also do all submissions just from the mount. That's the category. All submissions just from the rear mount. That's a category. All submissions just from breaking guard, which is mostly going to be legs. All right? Okay, Brent, get a partner. Demonstrate 2 straight arm locks. And since you got Joel, we'll just have Joel demonstrate 2 bent arm locks. All right, we call that tiger lock. Old Jiu Jitsu, but still good. All right, Jiu Jitsu for cross arm bar. Good. And Joel's going to work from the guard. Super good. Looks like you set up a Kimura lock. I like that one. All right, and omoplata, which is another shoulder lock. Good. Technically like a Kimura lock, you're just using the leg. That's very good. Super good. All right. Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
Categorize, right? We're still talking about categorizing these arm locks. Okay. So if we start from the guard, right, and I hit him, or I'm a little bit more traditional this way, I've broken guard. Now notice I left my knee up, which lets me immobilize this leg a little bit, right? Now don't get me wrong, he could get it out. But some of you are doing this. You're turning and you're breaking guard like that, and while you're grabbing it, he's just gonna get you back in the guard. Does that make sense? So when I break it, I'm controlling it. And I'm usually controlling my distance. So in order for him to get back in the guard, he's got to pull me back into that hole. So he's got to start pulling. He pulls hard, right? Pull, 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 pull. There you go. I still am controlling this leg, which enables me to underhook or overhook. Does that make sense?
Sir.
So for those of you that really like going for this knee bar, I like to just slide right over here and control this way. Now, notice that if I'm kind of like this, he just rotates his body that way and his shin turns away. Now I no longer have a knee bar. I got to do something different. Does that make sense? I didn't immobilize. So when I go to make the move, we just have to make sure that we control him, right? It's here. Now, he goes to move, and I got him, right? So, by the way, notice that my reference point is my calf is right up his butt crack, and I'm pinching with my thighs. I could do it in other ways. In the old days, we would do it this way. I found that that wasn't as easy for me to lock. I'm further away. I want to be super close, which means I like it tucked here, and I work this way. You can also work it this way. Okay, but you got to immobilize this. Okay, let's talk about this calf crush. A lot of people don't like the calf crush, but Achilles lock or calf crush is still, you still see it in lots of great fights, professional Pan Am games and stuff. So he locks me up, right? Bop, right? I'm gonna go ahead and make an overhook. I change my grip from here to here, and where this hand is, I'm gonna stand and step. And I lock him out. Now, I'm not doing it like this. Because now he just lifts his leg over mine and he sits up on me and I lose. I want him locked out. I want this stretched, all right? So that I can get this. This foot also helps mobilize. Now, if he's not tapping, he's trying to escape that foot, I just bend and roll to my side. Now I have foot's back in his butt crack. How about that? Pinch, and I rock this way. Okay? But you got to immobilize. The minute you don't immobilize, he's going to rock up on you. Don't forget, in the event that you want, you can start right here. Just crank this down. And this is a minor ankle lock. It just pushes ankle until it doesn't go any further, and I'm using my body to hold it. And that usually sets up, I turn him, and sets me up for a heel hook. I still have to immobilize. Bent knee, I'm here, I hold on. Now I can crank that leg. If I want to sit back, I'm going to sit back, kind of like the calf crush, but I want to keep this leg bent. I don't want to do this, because now I've helped him, and he can now roll. All right, and then I roll, and then he rolls. And I see people do this move all the time, and I'm like, you should have kept the knee bent. Immobilize his body with that knee in that 45 to 90 degree angle. Let's talk about those categories real quick. What's the difference between the two categories for leg locks? We wanted a subcategory. There are some bent leg locks, but most of them are going to be better categorized as part of the body. How about that?
What about knee and ankle?
Knee and ankle. But what about the hip locks? Maybe that's a subset. But the calf crush isn't the knee attack. It could be an Achilles, it's still not the ankle. Okay? So you kind of have to look at it. How will help you best memorize? I always put leg locks as like arm bars. I'm locking the knee joint, making it straight. Okay? Knee bars is one category really of its own. Ankle locks are going to be toe holds, heel hooks. That's one category. And all the other ash and trash, like calf crushes, hip lock, those are the ones that are going to basically be pain compliance type techniques. They're not necessarily going to damage the joint as much. Like if I'm calf crushing the crap out of somebody, I probably won't break the leg. It's just pinching that calf muscle. But however you want to categorize it, you can do that. By the way, could I also categorize it by position? How many ways can I get leg locks from breaking guard? How many can I do like rolling knee bar, rolling toe hold off of a shoot? Does that make sense? So you guys figure it out. Questions on what we did today? So we went over chokes, arm locks, and leg locks, but there's still neck cranks, suffocation techniques. There's a whole bunch of stuff we didn't touch on for submissions, okay? How about we could say, what are standing submissions? That's a completely different set of chokes and arm locks that you can just do without having to make a throw or get on the ground. That's good stuff, a good category, a good catch-all category. Build your system. It's your system. It's not my system. My system is up here and nobody gets it. No one can have my system unless you are as crazy as I am. It's your system that you're building. Does that make sense? Your files. Do that not only for your test, but you need to do it because one day you might be in my position or Britt's position at the 6 a.m. class or Joel's position, right? Where you're teaching other people and you're like, crap, what am I going to teach today? There's only so many times you can teach the arm bar and then your students stop coming, right? Does it make sense? On your feet.